Countries of the world. There are currently 195 recognized sovereign states in the world, as well as 2 observer states, the Holy See, Vatican City, and Palestine. The largest country by land area is Russia, while the smallest country is Vatican City. The most populous country is China, with India and the United States following closely behind. The history of the world. The history of the world is a vast and complex subject, spanning millions of years of human civilization and countless cultures, societies, and civilizations. Some of the major periods and events in world history include Prehistory. This period covers the time before written records, and includes the development of early human societies, the evolution of Homo sapiens, and the emergence of agriculture. Ancient history. This period includes the development of early civilizations such as the Sumerians, Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans, as well as the rise and fall of empires such as the Byzantine Empire and the Mongol Empire. Middle Ages. This period covers the time between the fall of the Western Roman Empire and the Renaissance, and includes the rise of feudalism, the Crusades, and the Black Death. Renaissance. This period marks the beginning of the modern era, and includes the rebirth of art, literature, and science in Europe. Age of Exploration. This period covers the 15th and 16th centuries, and includes the voyages of Christopher Columbus, Vasco da Gama, and other explorers who opened up trade routes between Europe and Asia. Industrial Revolution. This period marks the beginning of the modern era, and includes the development of machines and factories that revolutionized industry and agriculture. World War I. This conflict, fought between 1914 and 1918, involved most of the world's major powers and resulted in the deaths of millions of people. World War II. This conflict, fought between 1939 and 1945, involved most of the world's major powers and resulted in the deaths of tens of millions of people. Cold War. This period covers the time between the end of World War II and the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, and was characterized by the ideological and military tensions between the Western democracies and the Communist bloc. Modern Era. This period covers the time from the end of the Cold War to the present day, and includes the rise of globalization, the digital revolution, and the ongoing challenges of climate change, inequality, and geopolitical tensions. The world of animals. The animal kingdom is incredibly diverse, with millions of species that range in size from tiny insects to massive whales. Animals can be found in almost every habitat on Earth, from the depths of the ocean to the highest mountains. Some of the major groups of animals include mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish. Mammals are warm-blooded animals that typically give birth to live young and nurse them with milk. They include primates, such as humans, carnivores, such as lions and bears, herbivores, such as deer and cows, and many other groups. Birds are warm-blooded animals that have feathers and typically lay eggs. They include birds of prey, such as eagles and hawks, water birds, such as ducks and swans, and many other groups. Reptiles are cold-blooded animals that typically have scales or tough skin. They include snakes, lizards, turtles, and crocodiles. Amphibians are cold-blooded animals that typically have moist skin and lay eggs in water. They include frogs, toads, and salamanders. Fish are cold-blooded animals that typically have scales and live in water. They include sharks, rays, bony fish, and many other groups. The world of plants. The plant kingdom is equally diverse, with hundreds of thousands of species that range in size from tiny mosses to towering trees. Plants are found in almost every habitat on Earth, from deserts and forests to the polar regions. Some of the major groups of plants include flowering plants, conifers, ferns, and mosses. Flowering plants, also known as angiosperms, are the most diverse group of plants and include trees, shrubs, herbs, and grasses. They reproduce by producing flowers, which are used to attract pollinators such as bees and butterflies. Conifers are a group of trees and shrubs that typically have needles or scales instead of leaves. They reproduce by producing cones, which contain seeds. Ferns are a group of plants that typically have large, frond-like leaves and reproduce by producing spores. Mosses are a group of small, non-vascular plants that typically grow in moist environments. They reproduce by producing spores and do not have roots, stems, or leaves like other plants.